members of the Constituency Association here. Desmond Bannister, former Deputy Prime Minister. Rambert Wells, former Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I didn't expect to see so many people out here tonight. It is a pleasure to be here with fellow freedom fighters. This evening here in Garden Hills. I want to especially thank the executive and members of this Constituency Association for inviting me to address you in our party's continued struggle to ensure better for the Bohemian people. Let me begin by stating a fact that more and more people are thinking and feeling this new day is a bad day for Bohemians. People elect governments to make their lives better. When the people elected the PLP, they did not expect such heartless governance from them so soon. Right out of the gate, immediately out of the gate, the PLP started to execute their plan. They intended from the beginning to use your tax dollars to enrich PLPs. Greed has always been their problem, and they have not changed. That was the whole point of them fighting to take over the government. The first act in this assault on the Bohemian people was the Brave Davis breadbasket tax. There was no tax on the foods working people eat most. That was because we wanted to give a break to ordinary Bahamians. We wanted people to be able to afford the food they need on a daily basis. This Prime Minister and his heartless crew slapped a 10% tax on the people's food. I went to the supermarket the other day, and there was a young lady purchasing her grocery. And when she saw the price, this lady literally broke down in tears because she could not afford to purchase food for her family. I was immediately behind her, and I asked the cashier to just put her bill with mine. They slapped a 10% tax on medication. And now you see the hospital. The minister himself admitted that the hospital is filled with individuals with chronic non-communicable diseases. But I want to inform the minister that that is because individuals can no longer afford their medication and instead are using the money to purchase foods. The FNM opposed this move, and I opposed it. Commentators in the media opposed this move. But that did not stop Brave. He decided that he wanted to tax and take as much as possible from the Bohemians who could least strain and lingering supply chain issues as a result of the pandemic are driving inflation up around the world. The shameful Brave Davis breadbasket tax helped to make the effects of global inflation much worse. F&Ms. Yes. Now we face the Brave Davis inflation on top of the world's inflation. And he's all over the place bragging about how much money they're collecting. All on the backs of the Bahamian people, and especially the poor. This tax, the Brave Davis inflation, is killing the average Bahamian. And at the same time, it's decimating the poor. Food, breadbasket items went up 10%. Medication went up 10%. Real property tax went up in many cases 300 to 400%. And your real property tax are now added on to your mortgage so that the length of time of your mortgage has been extended. So individuals who thought that they would have completed their mortgage in 3 years now find themselves won't be able to complete for at least 10 years at additional cost. But if that's not enough, they are now approaching businesses and they want to collect the rent, the owner of the building's rent to pay property tax. Those landowners, building owners, are subsequently finding great difficulty in meeting their mortgage because the government want to take their rent. Then they want to introduce 10% VAT on your insurance claim. I want you to understand this. Today, medical care is expensive. It's not unusual to find medical surgical procedures costing $80,000 to $100,000. The insurance companies normally would send a patient, you, me, to the U.S. through their network agencies. They send us to their network doctors, which means that they can negotiate great discounts. In many instances, your travel expenses is paid for by the insurance company. An individual to accompany is paid for by the insurance company. And through their network, everything is paid. There's no bill to you. But if you stay here in the Bahamas for your medical care, on that bill, you must pay $10,000 to government. How many Bahamians you think are going to stay here and pay $10,000 taxes back to government as opposed to going to the U.S. where it's all free and they can take that $10,000 and go to Walmart shopping? They can take that $10,000, live in the best hotels for how long they want, drink their wines and champagnes, have a good time, and eat the best meals, and go touring, and still have change. Don't you think monies would be diverted from our Bahamas to the U.S., having an impact on our foreign currency? But they don't see that. They're penny wise but pound foolish. Driver's license for some heavy duty equipment have gone up. We recognize there were still individuals in our society that needed help. And therefore we created the tax-free zone. The plan was to extend the tax-free zone to all marginalized or depressed areas. Segments of Fox Hill, segments of Camp Road, Gambia, segments of the South, so as to help them. Those areas were being declared tax-free. They pay no rent, no real property tax. They pay no duty on building supplies or renovation. They pay no business license. These are all a part of what has been legislated, which is given today. This government is ignoring the law and charging those individuals who are in the tax-free zone. They are charging them real property tax. And to make it worse, the law came in effect in 2018. The government is trying to force those individuals who were exempted to pay retroactive. So individuals cannot continue with their businesses. Then they're planning on introducing an additional $43 on your plane ticket to travel to the Family Islands. My friends, but I want you to pay particular attention to. They say that money is being utilized to expand the airports in the Family Islands and maintain. But I want all Bahamians to observe and take note of who get the contracts. That is our duty. Watch and see whom they give the contracts to. Millions and millions of dollars. Let's ensure that those contracts are issued fairly and not given to their cronies. Evidence. Many countries around the world have created policies that try to give their people some relief at the pumps during these times. Some countries have cut some of their gas taxes or created subsidies to make life easier for their people. The government of the Bahamas gets big buco money from their gas taxes. It takes in millions. There have been calls by concerned Bahamians that the PLP administration should cut some of the taxes to give relief to the people. That has been done in many Caribbean countries. This uncaring Prime Minister, who is also Minister of Finance, has not done that. Gas prices are still sky high. Here in the province, it could cost you nearly $6 a gallon. It is hard. It is still hard for many people to afford a full tank of gas. I went to the service station, pumping gas and patching tires. And today, many individuals are visiting gas stations and stating that they want $2 worth. They want $1.50 worth. They cannot afford the $6 a gallon or more. A Prime Minister with a heart would lower the gas taxes until the time comes when global prices drop. Brave does not see the suffering of his people. He does not hear the cries of Bahamian mothers and fathers for relief. Instead, he boasts and brags in Parliament about how much money they are taking in from you. But at the end, it gets even worse. When we were in office, be left in place a fuel hedge or BPL to protect you from sky-high prices. My administration wanted to protect Bahamian families and businesses. All the PLP had to do was keep up with the good policy the F&M left in place.
Yes.
But the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance messed it up. Electricity bills are now on the rise. And they're going to keep getting higher and higher over the next year. You will be shocked to see how high your bills will go in the coming months. This burden on Bahamian families and businesses is because of the policy failures of this Prime Minister and his government. They could not do something as simple as keep up with the good work that the F&M left in place. And as a result of this, the people are suffering. When the big BPL bill comes each month, remember, Brave caused that. When the neighbors complain about their power bills, remind them that Brave caused that. When your co-workers complain about their bills, tell them that Brave caused that. And when your families and friends complain to you about their bills, what will you tell them? Evidence? With inflation and PLP tax increases and PLP electricity increases, you would think that's all our people have to face. Sadly, there is more. The Prime Minister and his crew are so giddy to take more of your money that, according to the media, they are close to announcing a national insurance rate hike. That means more money is coming out of your pockets and going toward the PLP-controlled state. If you budgeted your money down to the dollar, your calculations will not add up anymore, because the PLP is coming to take more from you. NIB is a valuable state entity. Its mandate is noble. However, if the PLP takes your money, you know it is not all going to end up where it is supposed to be. That's their track record, and they cannot change. They will not change. Evidence. I know a number of you own a small business or have family members who own a business. It has hurt my heart to read the stories in the newspaper and to watch them on TV news with Bahamian business people struggling just to register their businesses. Under the PLP, they are being sent for this paper and that form and this information from their landlord and that document from elsewhere. The F&M's policy was to try to make doing business easier in our country. The people's policy, the PLP's policy, seems to be to do whatever it takes to make the lives of business owners more difficult so they can get more money out of their pocket. Small businesses are the heart and soul of our economy. Small business owners do not have all the lawyers and accountants to do all the business licensing and tax compliance work for them. So, they have been up and down and all over the place this year struggling to get property license. PLP policies are making it harder and harder for them just to get properly sorted out to do business. This is not right. This is painful for the average businessman. This is an uncaring and responsible government. FNMs, I say to you tonight, there is a reason why they are putting up all these taxes. The PLP is using tax dollars to live the big life and enrich other PLPs. In the budget for this fiscal year, they put $60 million for consultants. And you know, I know, all Bahamas know where that money is going. It is going to PLP consultants. The Prime Minister is always up and down all over the world with a crew of traveling companions. They've been all over North America. They've been to South America. They've been to Europe. And they've been to Africa a couple times. While you are at your dinner table, struggling to figure out how you are going to pay your bills, the PLPs are living the good life with the money they taxed away from you. Their greed is never ending. They are not focused on crime problem. They are not focused on the immigration problem. They are not focused on growing the economy or bringing in new industries. The aim of the PLP is to make PLPs rich and even richer, while the Minnis suffer and cannot eat a meal sometimes 2 or 3 days as reported. FNMs, we must be vigorous in our defense of the Bahamian people. We must be watchful of our treasury. As a member of Parliament for Kalani, I go to battle with the PLP every time I go to Parliament. I am not afraid of brave, but I will not be moved by word. I tell him and his crew to their faces every time I see them what I think of that lousy governance of our country. We must not be timid. We must not be shy. Our party was formed to protect the Bahamian people from a PLP that likes to victimize those who oppose them. But if they're wrong, oppose them. We will not be frightened. We are defenders of the people to our core. We must speak to the issues of today that are most on the minds of the Bahamians. The FNM has a proud history of governance over four non-consecutive terms in office. Much of the modern economy and infrastructure of the Bahamas results from the F&M policy. The road infrastructure program is the F&M. The new critical care block, the hospital, is the F&M. And the F&M already had the money, the Minister of Health had the money in place to build a new block, which would have been maternal and child health. My kids, grandkids can be monitored and seen in new facilities, modern facilities. It was a 4-story building complex with the ground floor, the emergency room. And if the PLP had followed the plan, we would have been moving into that new facility next month. So when they're talking about not sufficient space, we don't have sufficient space because they created or compounded the problem that existed. The new port downtown that they're bragging about, that's the F&Ms. The development of Arawak Key and the Arawak Port, that's the F&M. I can go on and tell you about the advancement of the infrastructure of this country, which was done by the F&M. Every time we make 3 steps forward, the PLP takes us 5 backwards. And that is why we find it so difficult for our country to advance. The people have always had to call on us to rescue them from the PLP. They will call on us again to rid them of Brave Davis and his lousy, good-for-nothing administration. Evidence. Make sure your constituency association continues to be active and engaged. Encourage others to join. Make sure the people in your constituency know of all the good work you are doing. I again thank the chairman, the executive of Cardinals constituency. I thank you for inviting me here to speak to you today. And I pledge, as I stand here, I pledge to continue to do all I can to assist you and our party in our effort to bring better governance to our Bahamas, which we all love so much. Evidence, I was driving here, and I saw a press release that was issued by the government while driving here. And the release stated that they have come to an agreement with Royal Caribbean Cruise Line for the Paradise Island facility that they were complaining about.
Yes, and opposing.
But I asked them one question. A part of that agreement was Grand Bahama had to be included. The hotel in Grand Bahama had to be a part of it so that the Grand Bahamians can benefit. That was the approval, that was the condition that property would have been leased or Royal Caribbean would have been able to use. Grand Bahama, you cannot allow the PLP to leave you out. You are part of it. You are part of Bahamas. agreement that Grand Bahama, they understood that they could not receive the property. There'd be no agreement unless Grand Bahama was a part of it. I saw nothing in such press release. So Grand Bahama, you must ask them, where have you gone? Why are you not a part of it? Grand Bahama is a part of this country. This Bahamas. And when individuals see great benefit for themselves, we are not Nassau-centric. If there's an opportunity to include other islands, then we must take advantage of such opportunity. There was an opportunity for the hotel to advance. There was an opportunity for hundreds and millions of tourists to enter Grand Bahama shores and spend millions and provide jobs and job opportunities for Grand Bahamians. I did not see it on the press release. And therefore that's a question that we will continue to ask. We left that place, it could not be signed. The government, the FNM government, would not agree with such a project unless, and they had agreed that Grand Bahama was a part of the movement forward. Thank you and good evening. You all to drive home safely. Go straight home. Approach your tours. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you all for coming.
Yes, at this time, without the presentation, I printed the balls. Sorry, Robert. At this time, Mr. Gibson, I will give 110%.
Oh, yeah.
The whole governance consistency, as long as I'm in place, I'm okay. Thank you. Just for the record, at this time, all the executives from Ghana stand in place.